Kaze is the newest brawler coming to Brawl Stars, and she is also the very first ultra legendary brawler in the game. Because of that, she will require 5,500 credits to unlock. She belongs to the sushi restaurant trio since she is Kenji's wife and helps him run the restaurant. Her parents raised her to be a deadly ninja, but she's always dreamed of being a geisha. So now she's both.
So much chaos, so little calm. Forgive me, I'm not used to violence. Oh dear, was that too much?
Stick around to the end of the video for all of her voice lines and pins. And she has a lot of pins because she's two brawlers in one, so she gets two sets of pins. Now Kaze can switch between her geisha aspect or mode and her ninja aspect or ninja mode, which each have their own main attacks, supers, gadgets, star powers, and hypercharges. Activating her gadget is what switches between the two aspects, and since they each have a 6-second cooldown, you can switch them a lot throughout the match. And even if you don't have her upgraded at all, even if she's power 1, you will still have a gadget to use, and that will switch her aspects, but it won't add the added benefit of her normal gadgets that she has. It just swaps them. We've got more to cover, but I want to give a huge thank you to Samsung for sponsoring this video. Samsung's S25 Ultra. I mean, this is like the best device you can find for mobile phone, especially if you are a mobile gamer. You want this. So click the link below. Get yours now. One of the best features of the S25 Ultra is the Snapdragon 8 Elite processor. It just means that your device is going to perform better than all other past devices. That is so important for a gamer. And thanks to the processor, the Galaxy AI function is now 40% stronger, and the image quality has improved by 40% from just the previous series. That's insane because it was good before. You gotta take a look at these bezels. 6.9 inches here, okay? That is the slimmest bezels ever on a Galaxy device. And it's 15 grams lighter than the previous version. And it's got a vapor chamber. It's larger than the S24s. So when you're gaming on the go, you're gonna be nice and cool and refreshed. You gotta keep your hands can't get sweaty while you're playing, right? You gotta be able to dodge and weave and bob and jive. Those are gaming terms, right? You guys know how to jive in Brawl Stars. It feels like an upgrade in every aspect. It's literally a gamer's paradise. So whether you've tried Samsung or not, okay, this is the one to get. Click that link below in the description to pick up yours today. And a massive thank you to Samsung for sponsoring this video and for being such a long-term partner. Now, Kaze has 2 attacks, 2 supers, 2 sets of gadgets, 2 sets of star powers, 2 hypercharges, and we're going to start off by talking about her geisha aspect. In Kaze's geisha mode, her main attack is Kaze's delivery service. She dashes forward and uses her fans to slice through a small area all the way around her at the end of her dash. What's really interesting about this attack is that there is 1/4 of the radius that is a strike spot. And this strike spot is a crit, right? It deals double the damage to enemies within that small portion of the attack. The strike spot will stay in the same position until she hits an enemy with it, and then it rotates 90 degrees clockwise until she lands the strike spot again. In her geisha form, her super is Fan Storm. She creates a large storm about the size of Sandy's super, right? All enemy brawlers inside this storm will not be able to see brawlers outside of the storm. It will also deal damage to enemies every second that they stand on the outer edge of the storm. So if they try and enter the storm or escape, they will take damage. Now, even though brawlers inside the storm won't be able to see brawlers on the outside, the brawlers on the outside will be able to see the brawlers on the inside. So it's only a huge disadvantage if you're caught inside the storm. Now, Kaze has 2 gadgets, and they do different things depending on which form she's in, on top of switching her mode, okay? Her first gadget is Gracious Host. When she is in her geisha aspect, this will switch her to her ninja aspect and will buff her movement speed by 30% for 2.5 seconds. Her second gadget is Henso Jutsu. While she's in her geisha mode and activates this, this will switch her to her ninja aspect and will make her invisible for 2 seconds. Now, Kaze also has 2 star powers, and they do different things depending on which mode she's in. Her first star power is Advanced Techniques. While she's in her geisha aspect, this star power will slow enemies that are hit by her strike spot by 30% for 2 seconds. Now, the timer resets every time you hit an enemy, so as long as you keep landing the strike spot, they can be slowed for much longer than 2 seconds. Her second star power is Gratuity Included. In her geisha aspect, all enemy brawlers that her super lands on will immediately drain an ammo bar from them. This only works on brawlers who are initially caught in the storm, so if the storm is already on the map and the brawlers walk into it, they won't lose their ammo. It's also like technically 34% of a brawler's ammo. So brawlers that don't have 3 ammo bars will lose that much instead. You know, brawlers like Bee or Amber or whatever. Now, Kaze only has 1 hypercharge, but it's different depending on which mode she's in. And her hypercharge is Ancient Energy. In her Geisha aspect, her hypercharge makes it so that all brawlers that are in the middle of her fan storm will take a little bit of damage every second that they're in the storm. They don't take nearly as much damage as they do on the outer edge of the storm, but it chips away at their health and prevents them from healing for the entire duration. Kind of like, you know, Sandy's star power, and that's a strong star power. Okay, now we have completely covered her Geisha form. Now we're gonna rewind a little bit and talk about Kaze in her ninja form. Kaze's attack, while she is in her ninja form, is called Silent Shuriken. She throws 2 knives, one after another, in a straight line, similar to Cordelius's main attack. It's also like Leon's attack, because it deals more damage the closer she is to her target. So it actually deals very little damage from a distance. Kaze's super in her ninja form is Fist of the Brawl Star. She quickly dashes forward a far distance and marks all enemies that she crosses in her path. Just marking the enemy doesn't actually deal any damage to them. But after a few seconds, the mark will disappear and the enemies will take full damage then. Again, Kaze's first gadget is Gracious Host. When she is in her ninja form and she activates her Gracious Host star power, this will switch her to her Geisha aspect, and the gadget will instantly restore 30% of her maximum health. Again, her second star power is Henso Jutsu, and while she is in her ninja form, tapping this will switch her to her Geisha aspect and will dash her forward as if she used one of her attacks, only she's not attacking, just dashing. Again, Kaze's first star power is Advanced Techniques, and while she's in her ninja aspect, if an enemy dies to her super after being marked, the mark will actually explode and deal more damage to other nearby enemies. Also, if Kaze happens to kill a brawler that has been marked before the mark deals its damage, the mark will still explode and deal damage, so they don't actually have to die to the mark, they just have to die while they are marked for this to happen. Once again, Kaze's second star power is Gratuity Included. While she's in her ninja form, this star power simply increases the duration of the stat buffs from her gadget by 50%. Since this star power is only applicable to her ninja aspect, it can only increase her movement speed buff by a little over 1 second, or increase the time that she's invisible by 1 second, depending on which gadget she's actually using. For Kaze's hypercharge while she's in her ninja form, if a brawler gets marked and their health is low enough for the mark to kill them, there just won't be any delay. They will just instantly die. Also, this is a little weird. If they are marked by a hypercharge super, but they have enough health to survive it, but then they take enough damage to where it would kill them, it will kill them immediately. Kaze's hypercharge also gives her a 25% movement speed buff, a 25% damage buff, and a 5% shield. So she's going to be strong when she's hypercharged. Wow. Okay. There is a lot to cover for this brawler. So let's put her through the Olympic tests and see which forms or aspects are going to be the best for certain situations, and see how she compares to other less rare or even less legendary brawlers. First up, we have the attack range test. Kaze's Geisha aspect has a radius of 4 tiles, and she dashes about 2 1/3 tiles, which gives her a total range of 4 1/3 tiles. Not very great, right? But her ninja attack reaches quite a bit further at 6 2/3 tiles. She actually ties with Nita for 67th place. It's not a super long attack. Next, we have the assassin test, which is kind of funny because I kind of picture her as an assassin. She is listed as an assassin, but this test is all about burst damage. And since this test begins as soon as Kaze uses her super, the super damage takes so long that she's not able to do damage from more than just one. But she is able to unload all of her ammo, and that totals up to 12,000 damage, which puts her in 57th place. This test is usually about being able to burst somebody down with both a super and an attack, and her supers just aren't what makes her do a lot of damage. Okay, we have covered 2 tests so far. Guess what? From this point on, she is better than half of the brawlers in the game. I mean, she's 2 brawlers in 1, and she is a massive advantage because she is always able to be whatever she needs to be. First up is the auto aim test. Kaze's Geisha mode and ninja mode can both hit Nita from 4 tiles away, but the ninja attack only hits with 1 projectile. It also deals significantly less damage at that distance than her Geisha attacks can hit with the strike spot, so that does a lot more damage. She deals 3,000 damage from 4 tiles away and gets 43rd place. Next is the 3 attack kill test. Each ammo in both of Kaze's aspects have the potential to deal 3,000 damage, but it's probably more likely that she'll deal the most burst damage in her ninja aspect. She deals 9,000 damage with 3 attacks. That's enough to take out 73 of the 91 brawlers in the game, so she ties with Shelly for 42nd place. Next is the Swarm test. Kaze is able to take out 2 rows of ninja bots with her ninja super, but the delay takes so long to deal the damage that she's actually better off just using her Geisha aspect. She uses her super to take out a few bots on the edge of the swarm and then take out the rest with 4 main attacks. She's able to do this in 3.9 seconds and gets 35th place. Next is the area test. This was actually pretty close between her 2 main attacks, but Kaze's ninja aspect actually broke 4 more skulls than her Geisha aspect. However, her Geisha super covers way more area than her ninja super, and she can't actually break any skull switching aspects. She breaks 16 skulls with her main attack and 79 skulls with her super for a total of 95 skulls, which is enough to put her in 23rd place. This would suggest she's actually a little bit better at covering area than you might think. Next, we have the 1 second DPS test. Okay, Kaze uses her ninja super to mark the bots, and then while she fires her main attack, the super deals its damage within the same second. She's able to unload all of her ammo within 1 second as well, so she deals 12,000 damage in total and gets 22nd place. It's kind of funny, her peak damage is 12,000, so it's the same for both the assassin test and the 1 second DPS test. This just shows that she's able to burst enemies down much faster than most brawlers, but if other brawlers have a little bit more time, they can usually do more damage. Next, we have the super range test. Kaze's ninja super reaches across 9 2/3 tiles, but her Geisha super can technically deal damage at a much further range. Her Geisha super has a radius of 5 tiles and can be thrown 7 tiles away for a total of 12 tiles, so Kaze actually ties with Buster for 21st place. Next, we have the splash test. Now, Kaze uses her Geisha aspect to drop a super to deal damage to the boxes on the outer edges. She quickly takes out the rest of the boxes using her Geisha's main attack to deal damage to several boxes at once. She completes the splash test in 5.8 seconds and gets 20th place. Next is the boss test. Kaze starts by using her ninja super, unloading all her ammo, and then switching to her Geisha aspect. Kaze drops a super on the boss then, so that the boss constantly takes damage while she's using her main attacks to counter in a counterclockwise pattern. Now, the damage from multiple supers actually stacks, so the boss takes a lot of damage every second, so there's no need to switch back to her ninja aspect. She defeats the boss in 24 seconds. That puts her in 19th place, and that suggests that even as an assassin, she's going to be able to deal a lot of damage over a long period of time. Next is the survival test. Now, Kaze has 7,600 health, which is the same as Kenji. How sweet. Oh, and also Mortis and a few other brawlers. Anyway, she has no way of recovering health except for her gadget, but she has to switch aspects twice in order to use it to heal. She's able to activate it 3 times before she's defeated. She survives for 39 seconds and gets 19th place. Next is the super damage test. Kaze's ninja super deals 3,000 damage, but her Geisha super can actually deal 1,300 damage per second for 5 seconds. That's a total of 6,500 damage, so she gets 17th place. Next, we have the reload test. Both Kaze's reload speed and unload speed are much faster in her Geisha aspect, so she uses that for this test. She's able to unload and reload 10 shots in only 12 seconds, so that ties her with Sam for 15th place. That's a pretty fast reloading attack. Next is her supercharge test. While landing the strike spot in her Geisha aspect deals double the damage, it actually doesn't charge Kaze's super twice as much. It also takes 5 hits at close range in her ninja aspect, which she's able to land much faster. She's able to charge her super in 0.8 seconds, and so she actually ties with Finks for 10th place. Next, we have the race test. Now, Kaze has a very fast movement speed in her ninja aspect, and only a normal movement speed in her Geisha aspect. That being said, her dashing attacks move her up the map much faster until she can then use her ninja super to cross the finish line. She finishes the race test in 5.3 seconds, and that means that she is officially the 3rd fastest brawler in the game. Oh man, she is fun. We're not done though. She also competes very well in the box test. Kaze can easily hit all the boxes in each group with her Geisha's main attack. It's a little bit tricky to get all the boxes in her strike spot, but she can hit all the boxes with her strike spot every time. So she's able to complete the box test in 20.4 seconds. That puts her in 3rd place and suggests that she's going to be very good at ramping up in solo showdown. Based off of these tests, she's not like the absolute best at any one thing, but she is above average at almost everything. Her being able to just swap between the two game modes or two aspects or whatever, like, it's so strong. But the question is, how good is she going to be in each game mode? So let's talk about that. And then we'll cover all of her voice lines and pins. And her voice lines, man, she is sneaky. Starting off with Gem Grab. I feel like Kaze is going to be the best assassin in the game, especially for Gem Grab. We're going S tier here. Not only will she be able to add constant pressure by dashing around the map, but her Geisha super will also completely turn the game around by easily giving her whole team control of the map because the enemies won't know where anybody is. Her ninja super is also really great for attack, like for escaping situations and killing brawlers at the same time. So she really has every great move for being a good gem grab brawler. S tier just makes sense. And you know what? We're going S tier for Brawl Ball as well. Brawl Ball is another game mode where Kaze's high mobility will be really hard to deal with because if you ignore her even for a second, she's gonna be able to dash way up the map and score the ball. It's very similar to like Mortis or Kenji or something like that, right? But she also has the potential of a fast reload speed. And with the other abilities that she has that allowed her to hide her and her teammates from her opponents, there's just going to be too many opportunities for her to sneak up on the enemy team. She has a lot of the good qualities with Mortis for Brawl Ball, but she also has the insane reload speed, like I said, so S tier for Brawl Ball just makes sense. Don't worry, she's not going to be S tier for every game mode. We're going A tier for Heist. It's probably not going to be her best game mode, but let's be honest, she's so good, she's so strong. She can deal a lot of good damage, especially in her Geisha aspect. If people leave her alone on the high safe, she's going to be just doing a lot of damage. She just has really good stats, and even though I don't think that she's going to be like the absolute best in Heist, both of her supers are really good defensive abilities to prevent enemy brawlers from getting to her safe. So I think the A tier makes a lot of sense for her. I also think the A tier makes sense for Bounty. Bounty is another one of those game modes where I don't think she's going to be amazing at, but she still has so many abilities that make her invisible or that allow her to dash up onto somebody that I think that she's going to still be used on a lot of the maps. Sometimes all an assassin really needs is just one good kill to take the lead, and I could see her ninja super being really useful to dash away from enemies or from targeting an enemy that is, you know, within range of dying. But even if they aren't, she can target an enemy on the way back to safety, marking them so that they will die eventually by the time she's away and safe on your side of the map. Dashing brawlers like her can also be really challenging for a lot of good bounty brawlers like sharpshooters and throwers. I just don't think that she's going to be absolutely dominant in every single situation and map. But I mean, I don't know, man. A skilled Kaze player really could make it work, I'm sure. She's just so good. We're going S tier for Hot Zone as well. This has got to be the game mode where Kaze gets the most value out of her Geisha super. As long as she can keep cycling through those supers, there is no way that an enemy team will be able to control the, get control of the zone. And even if they did, if there's one super, they'd all just have to leave the zone, right? Or just like hope that they're safe in the middle. Like you're just like a sitting duck there. Kaze herself may not be the best for holding down a zone, but she will be a very tough brawler to maintain map control against. So S tier makes a lot of sense. Okay, Knockout. We're gonna go with the A tier here, okay? A tier because all Kaze needs is just one good moment to get a kill, and that could be all she needs to do really, really well. However, she might have to die once or twice a lot of times in order for her to charge her super in the first place. And you can't really afford to do that in Knockout. And she really doesn't have the range to compete in early game. So she's going to just kind of depend a little bit on the map. She's just strong overall. So I'm not going to go with the B tier. But unless she gets some nerfs, I don't know. B tier could make sense. We'll go with A tier. But we are absolutely going S tier in Solo Showdown. If there is a Kaze on the map, you will literally never feel safe. You shouldn't, at least. You could be hiding in a bush, or she could sneak up, or you could be sneaking up on a bush, whatever. Even if she falls behind early on, between her ninja super and her Geisha attacks, nobody's gonna be able to catch her unless they team, right? Don't team in Solo Showdown. It's called Solo Showdown for a reason. But yeah, you get the idea. She's easily S tier. For Duo and Trio Showdown, we're gonna go with the A tier. Assassins in general are never as strong when their targets have teammates that can watch their back, Kaze is no different, right? But I should also bring up how fast she can break open boxes, rack up power cubes for her and her teammates. She also has some good AoE damage, especially with her second star power. So I think that she's going to be pretty good in duo and trio showdown. And I don't know that the Brawl Arena, the new MOBA coming to the game, is going to be a permanent game mode or not, but I could see her being really good in that game mode. I mean, so the fact that she can do some splash damage and is a good assassin, like she could be a good middle lane brawler in the jungle. Seriously. Honestly, I'm really excited for the first Ultra Legendary Brawler, and I'm even more excited to see what the next Ultra Legendary Brawlers are. I know that this rarity has created some debate, so I'm curious what you know in the comment section. Do you think that she's worth the credit cost? I mean, she really is 2 brawlers in 1, but I can see the other side as well. Anyway, let's go over all of her voice lines and pins. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe so you do not miss the Jae Young Olympics.
Fate cuts deeper than steel. Lost my focus. I won't forget that. You got me. Well played. Every defeat makes me stronger. That was your big move? Cute, but ineffective. Now you've got my attention. You're making this fun. Just a scratch, but keep trying. A worthy challenger. Nice. Anyone can get lucky. You will regret that. Is this really your best? 1 strike, 1 brawler. Your story ends here. I strike, you fall. Simple. Your fear feeds my blade. Too much fandom. I kill time harder than this. Should I pretend that was difficult? I expected warriors, not clowns. Not even worth sharpening my blade. This is hardly worth my effort. You are but falling leaves. I come, I slay, I leave. My katana is thirsty. Who is next? Line up. I'll make this quick. Who ordered a swift demise? Strong, silent, and swift. No mercy, no survivors. Silent, deadly, unstoppable. Too slow, too weak, too gone. Training is underrated. Another soul fades into darkness. A ghost leaves no trace. I can taste your fear. Your fate is sealed.
Those were all of her assassin voice lines. Now let's go over some of her geisha voice lines, which unfortunately I couldn't get all of them out of the developer build, so I'll just play some for you here.
Forgive me, but it must be done. Oh dear, was that too much? A gentle fan, a mighty wind. Even a storm can be elegant. Let this be a gentle lesson, a most elegant conclusion. Oshiroi on point. A cherry blossom falls. So do you.
Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe for the Jae Young Olympics. We'll see you guys in the next video.